Hey, good Friday morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. As always with me, I find a lot to talk about in weather in a quiet time period. And it's not real quiet. So we got a hot Saturday on the way for most folks. Depending on where you're at in Michigan, I think you would call it hot relative to what you have normally. So we're talking low to mid 90s in the south and near 90 in the north, and the UP well into the 80s. Very warm to hot Sunday, depending on where you're at. Hot in the far southeast and very warm elsewhere, and clumps of storms that we will talk about too. So let's get to it. Hey, first off, Friday, if we haven't been businesses shut down and whatnot for a couple of months, I'd say, hey, this is a work skipper Friday, but it is a work skipper Friday. Look at the satellite picture right now, and it is clear. Oh, I got to say hi to folks. Sorry. Let's see. Angie Bachgalupo, good morning. Good morning, Brant Goyne from Oscoda. Beautiful this morning in Plymouth, says Karen. And good morning, Ann Lake from Albion. And Karen Bazinski, good morning. Veronica Bailey from Flint. Hey, to you too. Okay, so here we go. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Now, I wrote about this yesterday. We're in what I call a derecho pattern. Remember, derechos are these long-lasting straight-line wind events that come out of the Dakotas, move across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, into Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania. And in fact, the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, says one of those will probably occur today through North Dakota and Minnesota, and they believe that it will be in its dying phase by tomorrow morning as it heads into the UP Northwest Lower, and that's probably a pretty good call. But the point being is, on this kind of weather pattern, we really have to just see where the first clump of storms starts up to know the timing of when it is going to be the strongest. For example, this is today's outlook, and then we go to tomorrow's outlook, and you can see that it's a slight risk coming into western Michigan. And then we go to day 3, which would be Sunday, and they kill off the storm center. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here is the model that I like. Let me get a good perspective for you here. Bear with me just a second so I can make it look easier to see for you. Okay, there we go. So we'll look at the European because it looks generally pretty good, and then we're going to look at another model after that. Hey, Carol Bastian. Yes, beautiful morning in Traverse City. Isn't that always the case? Okay, so today, just great weather. If you're doing anything outside and you don't need a ton of wind, you're A-okay there too. And let's go into tonight. Let's go into tomorrow morning. This is late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So there's that complex of thunderstorms heading toward the UP. This is between 8 a.m. tomorrow and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And what I think it signifies is that Northwest Lower will have a decreasing thunder shower heading toward you. Manistee, Benzie County, Leelanau County, Traverse City area, maybe up to Petoskey and Charlevoix and Antrim County, and also across the UP. Southern parts, anywhere south of that, you should be dry. And then we go into tomorrow afternoon. That burst diminishes, dries up in the late morning, and then the next batch develops. And this one, I think, bears watching because all of the models want to take it straight south, and a south-turning thunderstorm complex in this flow is typically a severe thunderstorm. So this is Saturday night. So go from Saturday evening to Saturday overnight to Sunday morning. And basically what it wants to do is take that severe thunderstorm complex and peel it straight south from the UP through Wisconsin, the eastern fringes of it into western lower Michigan, but the most severe part just to our west. But again, we'll have to just keep an eye on that, because if it initiates, 100 miles farther east, then it rolls down through lower Michigan. No signs of that just yet. Possible. And on Sunday, you're looking at the possibility of a scattered thunderstorm. Monday into Tuesday looks dry, and then all along, all of the models have been showing the main weather feature in this series of storm systems coming, usually a series of 3 or 4. The main one comes through Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So if you've been missed by rain by then, you probably have a good chance of getting that once again. And once that moves through, the heat will break for a couple of days before coming back with more storms. So in other words, about every 3 or 4 days, we got a chance of storms. Now, here's that other model that I like in this case in the short term. So this is today, and all I can say about today is it looks fantastic. I'll show you the temperatures in just a moment here. This is tomorrow morning, right in there. That's 8 a.m. to noon. So like I said, dying thunder showers possible, northwest lower, maybe clipping again through the afternoon. Otherwise dry, southern lower. If you got any plans, southern lower on Saturday, looks pretty good. And then this is Sunday morning. This is the thunderstorm complex. This one shows it a little bit different, moving to the east and dying. So that's my reasoning for a shower or thunderstorm in your forecast on Sunday, but only 1 hour at any one spot. Today, 80s to near 90 degrees. Tomorrow, a lot of low 90s, a lot of 90 to 93 degree readings from, say, Houghton Lake and Manistee southward, north of that in the upper 80s. Sunday, hot in Ann Arbor and Detroit, in that area there. Very warm elsewhere with 80s, well into the 80s. And this would be Monday and Tuesday in the 80s. Wednesday, our storm system comes by right there in the 80s. And to Thursday, then we start to cool down somewhat. So a very kind of cyclical weather pattern, I guess is what we'll call it. Fantastic Friday. If you get into thunderstorms this weekend, 1 hour total on each of those thunderstorms. So you get 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at tops of rain this weekend. Otherwise, it's dry. You do have to watch them with me, though, because at this time of the year, in this setup, they always have the chance of becoming severe. Although for Saturday, no real strong signs that that's going to happen. We'll just keep an eye on Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then more interestingly, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Maybe we'll luck out and get all these weather systems come through at the least severe time, and that would be in the middle of the night. There you have it. Have yourselves a great weekend. You probably hear from me because I want to update you on the thunderstorm possibility for Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, have a great and safe weekend. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. If you could share the information with other folks on Facebook, we'd greatly appreciate it. Take care. See ya sometime.